Hi everyone. I thought that I would come and do some content today on shadow work. It seems to be a theme that pops up time and time again for clients that come to me for healing. And I wonder what your understanding of shadow work is, and have you ever been brave enough to step on the path to uncovering your shadow side to be able to fully embrace it? So what is our shadow? Well, the truth is that we're not all love and light, that we all have parts of ourselves, our personalities, our traits that aren't quite so appealing to us, behaviours that we perhaps don't really like within ourselves or fail to recognise, and so we push them down and they become part of our shadow. Now, to be completely whole and balanced and self-accepting, then we need to love equally the parts of ourselves that are our shadow and the parts of ourselves that we openly express to the world. Although shadow parts are uncomfortable, I think it's really important and part of our growth and awakening to be able to really acknowledge what they are and to be able to own them. That doesn't mean they're all going to go away. You know, there is some reprogramming you can do, and you know, through reflection and self-awareness, you may be able to notice when these comes up and go, hang on a minute, it's happening. I know I need to do something about this, whether I need to respond differently, think about my words, sit with myself for a moment. So some of these aspects could show up in sort of judgment of others, judgment of self, poor self-talk, lacking self-care. It could be when you become triggered by something. So how do we work with our shadow parts? How do we try to integrate them so that we become that whole balanced of light and dark? Well, I guess first of all, we need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We need to be really honest and acknowledge that we have these things and that, you know, they're not pretty sometimes. And they don't have to be big things. It could just be that, you know, you are, as I said, just a little bit judgmental of other people, and it may not be in a really brutal way, but actually what is that about? So the first thing is to be able to acknowledge it. You know, acknowledge that thought has come into your head, that feeling has risen within you, and really reflect on what that is. What does that mean for me? Because it's not really about the other person, is it? It's about you. It's about what it reflects in you, how it mirrors. And these are how these triggers come up. You spot it in someone else, you don't like it, it feels uncomfortable, and so then you project it. Whereas actually the first step is acknowledging that doesn't feel comfortable or it's triggered you, and then why. So lots of going within, lots of reflection. It could be that you need to take yourself back to a time where you felt like this before, or an event where you were feeling the same things as you feel in that moment, or those triggers, or that feeling of judgment, or the words that you used or were thinking. And what was happening then? What's that about? Could be something that just wasn't healed, and so instead of doing that, as humans, we're very good at just burying it. So and that's not healthy. You know, it causes dis-ease, therefore causes disease, and can make us feel quite unwell emotionally, spiritually, energetically, mentally. So yeah, really sitting with yourself, asking yourself what that is, where does it come from, and how you can heal it. And part of the healing is just that acknowledgement and not projecting it on somebody else. But it's not easy to sit with yourself. That is a massive skill. That's a huge step in growth to be able to do that. Because, you know, it is much more comfortable to just bury it and project it. So some of the things aren't necessarily going to come to light, so people find it really useful to do shadow work journaling, and I've put a few shadow work journal prompts within the comments below. Be really interested if you have a go at doing them, if you feel brave enough to really sort of face yourself and sit with those tricky questions, to give me a response. You know, you don't have to share everything, but just how was that for you? Was it challenging? Did you find it useful? Was there any growth? Was there illumination that came out of that? Something for you to really think about how you're going to move forward. So it will be lovely to connect with you and have those bits of feedback, and I will join you again for other content around spiritual growth, awakening, and spiritual issues, as well as little bite-sized pieces of intuition, ritual. We may bring some spell work, some shamanic practice. So if there's something you particularly want to see, then put that in the comments as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because that makes a real difference. If I see that people are liking the content that I bring, then it keeps me motivated to bring more and share, you know, the gifts that I have and connect with you. And I will put the comments around the shadow work below. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. Blessings to you all.